If you're watching a video like this, I'm going to guess that you're a very quiet, probably introverted person. And that is not a bad thing by any means. A lot of people, when they hear introvert, they immediately think less of themselves and they think they should be an extrovert because it just sounds better. And the way society has kind of made it out, it's that extroverts are the people that succeed because they're always involved and they're the center of attention. But I've come to find out that introverts are the most reflective, creative, and the deepest thinking kind of people, because if you're always putting out information, you're always talking, how do you expect to listen and learn from what other people are trying to tell you? And you have to be able to be comfortable with silence to be able to process stuff in your brain. So being an introvert is not a bad thing by any means. One thing that I find a lot of introverts struggle with, though, is their confidence. And no matter what you want to achieve in life, you need confidence to do so. You can't expect to become an athlete or a musician without being confident in yourself and trusting the work that you've put in and being able to go put yourself in that vulnerable space. And so being an introvert, I'm also going to guess you're probably very hardworking, because I find people who can be comfortable in silence are comfortable by themselves and they are able to put time in on stuff they really love to do. At least that's what I found with myself when in periods of my life where I haven't had a lot of people around me, like a lot of friends or a lot of stuff to do, just put work in, just whether that's be music, sports, or school. Actually, that's a big one. A lot of people who do really well in school and have the highest average don't have a lot of friends because they're always studying, or vice versa. They study a lot because they don't have a lot of friends. You know what I mean? So having confidence in yourself is one of the biggest things that I have struggled with as an introverted person. And so to boost your confidence and to actually be able to succeed in the areas that you want to, there's a few things that I found really help me kind of improve my overall confidence and my ability to be comfortable with being in the spotlight. So I'd say the number one thing that you can do is set small goals for yourself and start achieving them. The biggest thing that I do every day, first thing I do when I wake up, is make my bed. It might seem stupid, but it's the first task that I can complete, and it gives me momentum to get other things done in my day. It's the first thing that I've succeeded at in doing in my day. So whatever else happens, maybe I fail at something else, I can always remember that I made my bed that morning and I got something done. And that is the biggest thing with confidence. When you feel like you're accomplishing things and you feel like you're succeeding and growing, your confidence goes sky high. You feel like you can do anything. I want you to think back to a moment in life where you felt on top of the world. Maybe you aced a test where everyone else in your class almost failed, or you scored the winning basket in a basketball game, whatever. I'm sure there's a memory that pops up in your mind. And whatever that may be, I'm sure in that moment you felt like anything that would have seemed hard on a regular day would feel easy. If you always feel like you have a sense of accomplishment in your life, your confidence is sky high. So starting with accomplishing little tasks throughout your day, like making your bed, and then maybe after you make your bed, you go jump in a cold shower. And after that, you go make yourself a healthy meal full of eggs and protein and good food that's going to fuel your body throughout the rest of the day, instead of having a bunch of sugar and just putting shit in your body that's not going to help you. You're going to start to feel a lot more confident throughout your day because you're accomplishing things that no one else is doing around you. Well, maybe some people are, but the majority of people aren't putting work in like that. And the confidence that you're going to feel from accomplishing these small tasks is going to escalate, and it's just going to keep growing and growing, because once you accomplish one small thing, the next doesn't seem that daunting. So every day, just try to implement new little things in your life so that you can eventually start accomplishing the big goals. Here's an example from my life. I really got onto self-improvement in June of 2021. That's when I started meditating. I'd always been into fitness and working out and in the gym, but that's when I started meditating, journaling, and really starting to immerse myself in all the different kind of areas of self-improvement. And a year later, in June of 2022, I accomplished so much in my life. I played my first live gig as a musician with a band. Music is kind of my thing. You can have me on Spotify at Colby Wallace if you want. And there was a distinct week in June of 2022 where life kind of really unraveled for me. In that week, I released my first album of music that I fully produced and put out by myself. And then 2 days later, I actually ran a marathon, and I've been training for months and months to prepare for that moment. So within 2 days, I ran a marathon and released an album, and you can bet my confidence was sky high through the roof after that little bit of time. And the day after I ran a marathon, I had my exams for school, and walking into those exams felt like nothing because I'd accomplished so much and felt so proud of myself for accomplishing these goals that my confidence pertaining to the other aspects of my life was just through the roof. Now, the second thing that you can do to really improve your confidence is get into fitness. Now, you don't have to become like a bodybuilder who's got like a whole bunch of muscles. I'm just playing. Or who's trying to get really jacked and get the physique. Even just doing something like running or playing sports or just moving your body in a healthy way, going for a hike, spending time in nature is going to make you feel better about yourself, because a lot of people who struggle with their confidence, they're not exercising on a regular basis. Could you imagine how good you feel if you just ran a marathon? Trust me, I know. When I finished that marathon, besides from being absolutely exhausted, I felt so confident and so happy with myself because I saw 6 months of hard work pay off in that moment to accomplish a task that no one else around me is doing, at least at my age that I know. And it felt so good. So could you imagine how good you'd feel after 2 months or 3 months of consistently being in the gym and walking to the mirror and just looking and seeing a physique that you're proud of and seeing a physical change in your body? You can start to see the visible lines in your abs. You're starting to see a little bit of muscle in your biceps. You're starting to kind of just get integrated into seeing a change in your physical body, and that's going to imply a change in your mental as well, because you're going to be motivated to keep doing it. Once you see progress, it's addicting, which can be a bad thing, but I think it's one of the most beautiful things in life because it gives you a journey to keep focusing on and keep working at, and something that you're never going to be able to stop doing. So whether it's getting into running, playing basketball, going for a hike, or getting into the gym, just implement yourself in some kind of fitness-based activity so that you can start seeing progress in your physical body and start just feeling better as well. You're going to sleep better, you're going to get better grades, and you're just going to focus better simply by exercising on a regular basis. And your confidence is going to, go through the roof after that. And now the last thing that I find a lot of introverted people struggle with is social situations. That's probably for me the hardest area that I had to really work at to get comfortable in, because being an introvert, you always feel really awkward in situations that you're maybe meeting new people, and you feel like if you're quiet that you don't have much to say and much to talk about. So I think the easiest way to kind of go about progressing in that is just take small steps. Try and interact with a new person every day. Maybe you go for a walk, and your first step can be as simple as just smiling at a person who walks by you and say hello. I know it might feel weird and awkward at first, but more and more you're going to be comfortable with just saying hello to people and just having positive interactions. And just like in the gym and everything else, like those small tasks, it's going to progress. You might not be very good at it for first. You might choke on your words and say something stupid, but who cares? It's a start, That's going to allow you to get comfortable just interacting with new people and putting yourself out there first. A lot of introverts, a lot of the friends they have is because the friends have come to them first, or they've met through mutual people they know, like their parents have introduced them and they've been friends since childhood or something. But you got to be able to learn how to make the first move. You can't expect everyone to come to you in life if there's something you want. You got to be able to go out there and get it yourself. And that's true for anything in life. Becoming the initiator for something that you want to do is probably the biggest thing that you have to learn how to do as an introvert in order to be able to have success in the areas that you want to the areas that you want to succeed in, because opportunities will find you if you let them, but you also have to go seeking for them. You can't just sit around the house all day and waiting for some miracle to change your life. You have to go out there and put the work in and seek the opportunities for the areas that you want to succeed in. And that starts with confidence. You can't expect to accomplish anything in life if you're not confident in yourself. And you also have to be okay with trusting yourself. You have to learn that failure is not the end of the world. That's what a lot of introverts struggle with, I think, is they're so their personality is so reflective and so critical that they're the hardest critic to themselves, because maybe they'll mess up on one thing and they'll never want to try it again because they're so hard on themselves. So you have to learn to be okay with seeing that failure is actually one of the best things that can happen to you, because it's going to teach you the lessons that you need to learn in order to go further in life. And it's something that I've struggled with a lot. I used to always be a perfectionist and want to have everything, get it done the first time. But you have to accept that it's a process. You're never going to figure it out right away. You're going to have to fail and fail and fail until you kind of start getting it right. And it's never easy, but it's just the way it has to be. So I don't know if you found any of this advice helpful. If you didn't, thanks for watching this far. Thanks. I'll see you in the next one.